Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back putting a positive spin on The Neverending Story 2, the next chapter. The Neverending Story 2, the next chapter, is the 1990 follow-up to one of my all-time favorite films, The Neverending Story, from 1984. The original is beloved, and it currently has a 7.3 out of 10 rating on IMDb, which is pretty high. This sequel, however, sits at just a 5.1. Here's my quick personal history with this one. Decades ago, at this point, after school, I used to go to a friend's house every day. He had some younger siblings who absolutely loved this movie, and the first one as well. But for some reason, they wanted to watch this one every single day. Because of that, I pretty much watched an entire school year's worth of The Neverending Story 2. Obviously, I have a fondness for it because of that nostalgia, despite clearly preferring the original. There is lots to love about this sequel, though, nostalgia aside. I honestly feel that the lower score for this one reflects the fact that it just didn't live up to the original for most people, and that's fair. But it forces me to ask a question I've asked before. Why can't you love both? You can still prefer one without hating the other. And unfortunately, The Neverending Story 2 does get a lot of hate. Regardless, I personally love it. And again, I say that as someone who considers the first film to be one of my favorite films of all time. So, before this video becomes never-ending, here are my positives for the next chapter. The late Jonathan Brandis plays Bastian in this one. That's a positive. And it's truly sad watching the talent he had. John Wesley Shipp plays his father. He's best known from his roles in The Flash, and as Dawson's dad, Mitch, in Dawson's Creek. I like the fear of heights component, with Bastian failing to make the swim team, because he's afraid to jump off of the high diving board. Bastian's town is a positive. I love the setting outside of Fantasia. I like that we get the return of Mr. Coriander and the antique bookstore. I love how the book changes when you read it for a second time. This, in my opinion, actually addresses the issue a lot of people have with this one. The fact that it's made up of a mostly different cast. I, of course, love the look of Fantasia. The set design is gorgeous. Like the first movie, this sequel has a darkness to it. And you know what? It may actually be darker in some areas. It's definitely a dark fantasy, and like the original, an example of gateway horror. There is some nightmare fuel in this. The Seeing Hand Castle is awesome, and Zaida, the villainess in this, is beautiful. I really like the character of Nimbly. He was always memorable, as was Tri-Face. The concept of stealing Bastian's memories is a positive, and again, I think this helps with the changing cast. If he can't remember, why can't they be different? But again, the book changes too. This is the next chapter, so it makes sense regardless. I like the look of the citizens in Silver City, and the acid water is really cool. I love the fantastical music in The Neverending Story 2. It's extremely fitting. The giants are pretty damn terrifying. They did not hold back with the giants. They alone provide a lot of that nightmare fuel I mentioned. The chase scene between them and Bastian is awesome. Seriously, whoever designed those giants must have thought, we do not care about your kids. They look like something out of a Roger Corman movie. Genuine nightmare fuel. I always loved the Mudwort in The Ship of Secret Plots. I like that Bastian has to save Fantasia from the emptiness, because if Fantasia is destroyed, the children of his world will have no more stories to read. The creature effects are really fun, and that includes those damn giants. The return of Falkor is obviously a positive, as is the return of Rockbiter and the introduction of his baby, Junior. I like how we get a parallel story. While Bastian is in Fantasia, his dad searches for him in the real world, since his son has obviously gone missing. And then it's great how the two come together at the end. With a runtime of just under 90 minutes and approximately an hour and 23 before the end credits, this sequel moves at a ferocious pace. It flies by faster than Falkor. I like the flashbacks we get while seeing Bastian's memories. We sadly get to see more of his mother before she died, and one of his memories is a Christmas memory, with Christmas music and all. The invisibility belt is cool. And then there's a scene I don't want to spoil in case you haven't seen this, when Bastian kills someone. Seriously, legitimately kills this character, and it's shocking. No matter how many times I've seen this, and like I said, I've seen it a lot, I still can't believe it every time. And the last positive I want to mention is this. I'm glad we get the classic song playing over the end credits. The Neverending Story 2, The Next Chapter, is a very entertaining sequel. It had huge shoes to fill with the original, but I still think they did a damn good job with this follow-up. Of course, just like my opinion of all the other hated movies we've covered, you don't have to agree. This is just my positive spin. Please be sure to check out Jason's as well to hear his thoughts. Have you seen The Neverending Story 2, The Next Chapter? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. To which hated movie will we next give a positive spin? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.